It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I was solving problems like Luc Picard from Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I'm going to get into that, but first, couple things. I want to give a big shout out to Finland. Got some plagues over in Finland this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Torba. And Finland, I just read that you guys are the happiest country on planet Earth. That's a pretty big feat. So thanks to this podcast, pursue guys' gratitude. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the song called The Plane by the one and only Sun Tzu Cosmic, rapping his unique style over spacey electronic type beats. I guarantee you, you've never heard anything like it in your life. So check out The Plane. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever seen Star Trek: The Next Generation. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But if you have not, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek TOS, have really predicted the future very well. There's a lot of gizmos and doodads and gadgets in those shows that have become reality. Now, I'm aware of a lot of them. I've seen some abuse some of these things. But there's one piece of technology that I just realized is straight out of Star Trek. So I use this pretty regularly, and I use it in a certain way. And I just realized, bro, this is what they do in Star Trek. In Star Trek, The Next Generation, Picard and crew are floating around in space, and sometimes they'll encounter some kind of issue, problem that comes up. And what happens a lot of times is they'll be on the bridge, and they'll do this. Computer, calculate the blah, 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 and the blah, 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 blah. And the computer will respond like, yes, the calculation is da-da-da-da-da. And they'll have a little bit of panic trying to figure something out. This happens all the time on Star Trek. Not just this show, but all the shows, actually, will do some form of that. And as I was solving problems yesterday with my high-tech cell phone, I was using AI. I was chatting with it, and I did that exact thing. I was trying to figure things out and find things out and predict things. And I chatted with my AI basically to find this out. And this is basically what happens in Star Trek: Next Generation. There's a bunch of other shows. They just ask the computer things, and the computer answers them. They have dialogue. They try to solve problems. Basically, in 2025, we can do what they did in the 24th century on Star Trek: The Next Generation, the Deep Space Nine, the Voyager, and all the other ones. We currently have Star Trek tech. Now, ours is probably not as sophisticated as one on Star Trek, because it's in its beginning stages. But over the past 2 years, I have utilized the tool of AI to solve many everyday problems and also assist with the creative process. This tool works really well to solve issues that come up in our life. Now, I know a lot of people don't like AI, and I understand, I get it, I understand why you would, but you have the world's database information there, and you can bounce ideas off to solve problems. Now, the way my mind works is I'm good at asking questions. Now, I had a high school teacher when I was a senior, I think I was a senior, and she was telling me, it's not really the answers, it's the questions you ask. How you word the questions, what the questions are. And this is for writing research papers. And I find it interesting how that applies to search engines, how in interacting with dialogue with AI. Because it really is the questions you ask that's going to really give you, get to where you need to go to or what you're trying to find out. And over the years, I've gotten really good at asking questions. And sometimes I talk to people in real life and they just don't have the answers. But the AI, has the world's database. So almost anything you can think of, you can have dialogue with AI and it will somehow, figure things out with you. It's an amazing tool. I fixed the car last week with it. I fixed some other things. I did some artistic things. There's a lot of things you can utilize to solve issues with it. It's a really phenomenal. I don't know how everybody's not using this. I feel everybody should be use this somehow, some way to help themselves out. And in Star Trek, of course, they collaborate with their fellow shipmates and other crew members, right? They do that, of course. But they do also collaborate with the computer. And they use it effectively. And it works well. And in my life, I've been able to use it the last couple of years. It works really well at figuring things out. It's for almost anything you think of. Now, when it comes to, social sciences, maybe not as good, but science and money and, fixing stuff, it has a really good knowledge of how things work. It's absolutely impressive. Yeah, so I was out here trying to solve problems. And I basically was just, talking like they do on Star Trek. Now, what would be really cool if I could get the voice to sound like the computer from Star Trek? Oh, that'd be so dope. So basically, I'd really just be talking to the computer. Now, one additional thing too, you can buy a badge at StarTrek.com, I believe, that you can talk with Bluetooth. So it would be really dope, which I think I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm going to do it this week. I'm going to get a communicator badge, and I'm going to chirp it, and I'm going to talk to the computer the badge like they do on Star Trek. I think they use the badge. I don't know if they use the badge. I don't know if they use the badge. Whatever. But I'm still going to talk to the computer with the badge. It'd be so dope. So anyways, this ability on the phone really has leveled up the game. Now, out in the world in the past, I feel the knowledge availability to humans was lopsided. Certain people had knowledge, and a lot of times they'd share it. Now knowledge is everywhere. If you want the knowledge, you can go and get it. Right, whatever you need to accomplish and do, you can go seek it out. Right, get it. If you have access in your area, go to communicate the search engines and AI, and you can figure things out. It really is amazing. If you put the time in, you really can figure things out, solve things, and create things and make things and whatever you want to do. It really is a phenomenal tool. And we're just in the infancy of it. Right, we're just in the beginning. Who knows where this is gonna go? Yeah, I've been using this tool for the last couple of years, and I just realized, bro, I'm basically Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah, so anyways, what a time to be alive. You really can use this to level up your knowledge base, like seriously. And one additional thing, and then sometimes get out there and try to, predict things or figure things out or build new things. It's so crazy how it works. It's amazing, man. It's wild, man. So anyways, yes, I was Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek. It's amazing, bro. I'm like, computer, solve this problem. Great time to be alive. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about. And until next time, we'll see. Total absence of humor renders life impossible. Colette, to the Captain Piece.
The Captain Talks.